If you have worshiped with us for any period of time at all, you've probably wondered why Eeyore is over here on the altar beside me. I hope to answer that question with a story I first heard from a man named Tim Wright. It is about Eeyore floating down the river upside down in a whirlpool he can't escape. And he's floating down the river at the same time Winnie the Pooh is crossing over the bridge into the 100-acre wood. And as he gets to about the middle of the bridge, he looks down and he sees his friend whirling around underneath him in this whirlpool. And he looks at his friend and he says, "Eeyore, did you fall in the river again?" "Yep, I did." "Well, Eeyore, you're going to have to be much more careful." "Yup, I am." And then he continues to start to walk across the bridge until he hears the voice of his friend, "Hey, Pooh." "Yes, Eeyore?" "If it wouldn't be too much bother, could you rescue me?" Now, all of us have been in the whirlpools of our life, and all of us have experienced those times where we just felt trapped by circumstances or life or a predicament we just couldn't get out of. And all of us have found we need help. Eeyore reminds us that there are seekers in this world that are lost in a whirlpool of needing hope and faith and love, and that we often walk by them without even noticing they're really wanting help. We just think that's who they are, and that's not acceptable. Eeyore is who we all were, and what if somebody had left us in the whirlpool? So we need to stop long enough to offer them God and hope and promise and life, because Jesus is the only one who can save us. My bet is Pooh wasn't able to rescue one stuffed animal rescuing another one without a little bit of help from Christopher Robin, and we can't save anyone without Jesus. So why is he on the altar? Because that's where we place our gifts to God, and that's where we receive our gifts from God. When we placed Eeyore on the altar, it was to remind us that that means all of us are Eeyores, and we're supposed to be placing our lives on the altar. And we're supposed to be doing the things God calls and gifts and creates us to do, like reaching the seeking, those who are trying to find a way out of their whirlpool. And when we do that, we offer ourselves to God, and he offers us a gift in return that we receive, which is to have lives that have eternal value and purpose. So that's why he's on the altar. But why is he clinging to the cross? It's not because we think there's some magical voodoo in the cross that's going to make things happen. It's because it's a symbol of how much God was willing to do to have us and what it cost him, and that our attempt to fulfill our purpose, it reminds us what we can do to help others and to have value. Eeyore then reminds us that it's not about clinging to each other, but always getting closer and closer to Jesus. So that is our prayer for you today. We want you to be closer and closer to Jesus, and every time you see Eeyore by that cross, we want you to think, how can I get a little bit closer, a little bit closer? So pray for opportunities for God to use you as you offer yourself to God, and then to remind you how blessed you are to get to have that kind of value and purpose. And now, maybe when you see him, he will help draw you in to worship in spirit and in truth. When you look at Eeyore from now on, I hope it reminds you that we are to be out helping others out of their whirlpools, and we're to be making sure we don't fall in the whirlpool ourselves in the process. And we can only do that when we cling closely to Jesus. And we need to always, no matter where we are in our spiritual journey, no matter how exploring to maturing we are, we need to be always looking to get closer to Jesus, because none of us have done that enough yet. I hope it will remind you to cling to him with every fiber of your being, and to be available and offering yourself to him so that you can reach others with that same hope and purpose.